he was in the army. He was only 28, and I believe that he could do so many great things. And since the number of victims in Mariupol, 100,000 of people, this is only one city, but they're shelling constantly, daily, across the whole country, and one can never know when the life can end. You understand how much fragile it is. And this is the reason why I do think that it is important to share these stories, and it's also important, as much as maybe cliche these days it sounds, to stand with Ukraine, because you never know when the war can knock your doors before it comes.
I'm going to wrap this up with a story I want to communicate, and it was asked by me by somebody to communicate this story, so I feel like it's my responsibility. I met a wonderful woman by the name of Anna in the city of Kharkiv. I'll say Anna because I can't pronounce her full name because I'm, again, an American. And I went to Kharkiv. She welcomed me into her home so I could film in the city. I filmed the targeting of the electrical grid. I filmed a lot of stuff there. But the main reason I was there was because of her. I wanted to interview her about an experience she had. And I was gonna interview her no matter what, because she was an amazing person who participated in Euromaidan, has put her life on the line multiple times to try to help other people. But during the process of me setting up the trip to her location, her father, who was a gardener, loved cats that he would feed out on the porch, was on the porch one day in Kharkiv, and he was feeding a cat that regularly came up and visited him. It was a street cat, which there are many of in Ukraine. And while sitting on the porch, his wife comes out, her mother comes out and tries to come inside, air sirens, air sirens. He's like, the whole, hardened, like, I'm a man, this is my home, I'll do what I want. Wife goes back in the home, and a Russian artillery shell tears through the porch, tearing him to shreds. He was killed instantly. He was ripped to shreds. His intestines were about to spill off of the porch that was elevated. He was completely obliterated. It was a very brutal image. This shakes the whole home, and the wife comes out so shaken that she starts grabbing his ankle, trying to wake him up, even though he was already dead. And I interviewed her about the death of her father, and they were such loving people that they gave me this little keepsake to keep me safe from something like that happening to me. I go to them to interview them about their family tragedy, and they think ahead to make me a little keepsake to keep me safe. And that is the spirit of the Ukrainian people that has suffered through this war, but will persevere through this war. It is brutal, it is terrible, and for every war crime that happens, that is documented on mainstream media and that there is a picture of, there are 10 more that get covered up by the Russian army or don't get covered in mainstream media.